Oh my God! It's time for Mansers! Oh yeah, we got the Mansers, baby! You want them? We got them. Mansers! Hoobity hoobity! Hoobity hoobity! Hoobity hoobity! Hello and hi!
I wasn't ready for the. You want them? We got them.
We got them. Hello and hi to all you muff divers and misfits. Welcome to the Mansers, the Toxic Podcast for a better tomorrow, brought to you by two toxic machismos and one person we promise who actually gives a shit. And who are we individually? There's no need to start that over. Roll with it. Let me introduce you. They say God created the world in 7 days, but when he created her, he needed extra PTO. Her voice is known from here to the Himalayas, and they say on a dark night her light is so bright it can guide wayward sailors home. She is Miss CTG. I'll get your applause.
Wayward sailors.
Welcome.
Hello,
Starboard bound.
They say he's never been beaten from the break room to Bangladesh. His lightning quick reflexes help defend the land and slay the merciless. His mighty warrior fingers have blessed the sticks for generations, and his defeats are rumored to be felt for generations more. He is a super smash brother. Iz, welcome to the show.
You're welcome. With so much valor.
He's been bald since before he could breathe. His beard was woven together by the fates of destiny, and it's said that whenever he trims it, damsels across the universe become weak and are known to shed a tear for each hair slain. He is the legend known as Todd, for there can be no other. Boom, 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 and we are Mansers. You want them? We got them, Mansers, because when it comes to your problems in love and life, there's a perfect mansplanation for that.
Yo, did yourself. Yo.
Now,
yeah,
you know, alternative from the applause. This is the hype crowd.
Here we go.
For Black Oprah. You guys haven't heard? You guys haven't heard?
As opposed to...
What's her name? Young Miami said she wanted to be the next Black Oprah. I would start with understanding that Oprah is already black. But that's just my white opinion.
Maybe that's what she's saying.
Well, she said in defense, I had to do something a little extra because I can't be like y'all basic bitches.
Oh, no. That's what Young Miami said?
Yeah.
So she thought that.
She's like, I had to do a little something extra.
She thought that not knowing that Oprah was black made her the upper echelon of rap.
Not rap, though.
She's Diddy S.
Oh, is she really dating that dude?
They say they are dating and they are single.
Okay. Right. They are seeing each other, but they are not in a relationship. And I can respect that. I feel like that's valid. That's valid.
We know that
it is valid.
That you feel that way.
100%.
There's no question in our minds that you felt that way.
Also, if I was Diddy and Young Miami, I would still be open to fucking everybody too.
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
how you really feel,
let's be honest. Diddy's the winner in that situation because Young Miami's gorgeous. Diddy's fat.
She gorgeous.
They say money make you handsome. Isn't that what they say?
Diddy's just so fucking annoying.
That's a Russ song.
And if you're listening, Puff Diddy, I won't apologize if I meet you in real life. And if you could take Mansers to the next level, we wouldn't even let you.
Yes, we would.
Back. Because you don't know who people know, okay?
Fine.
The views of Todd do not reflect.
Down 2 notches. You don't know how many degrees of separation are between us and Diddy.
Fine.
But I promise you they're smaller than you think. They're less.
I apologize, Father Diddy.
I mean, you ain't got to apologize. I'm just saying, let's not look a potential gift horse in the mouth, okay?
Yeah, okay, fine.
All right.
I never understood that.
Yo, I was literally just about to say the same thing.
As you just said it,
what does that even mean?
What the fuck is a gift horse?
Well, I mean, you guys know all
Is
these
it the
old
Trojan horse thing?
adages come from like yay ancient times. Like we'll say
but still,
pioneer era. I don't know what
what
time.
is
Ye old gift horse.
what is a gift horse?
Cause man, like
And what's wrong with
I'm gonna totally go off the cuff here and make this up. I will 100% make this up, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with along the lines of giving horse along the lines of dowry. Like when you're giving your daughter away or something like that, you are giving a horse as well, and it's not polite to look that horse in the mouth and check it out to see if it has any. That horse could be a lemon, but that's your lemon now. You can't take it to Carfax. Carfax could be a potential sponsor of this show, FYI. Carfax, you know I wrote your proposal. Write me back. You're probably listening to this right now. You want
Would you like to hear what Google says?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
The idiom itself stems from the practice of determining a horse's age from looking at its teeth. It would be rude to receive a horse for your birthday and immediately examine its mouth in front of the person who gave it to you, as if you were trying to figure out the value of your gift.
What is this? 2017 Colt or?
Here comes my knowledge of this. With horses, their teeth kind of work like the rings of a tree. So it goes from the front ones and then outward. The older that they get, the more rings come around as they go back out. And you can see them. Their teeth are so thick that you can see them. You can see the rings. So starting from the front teeth going outward and backwards, they'll get more rings, and that'll determine how old they are.
Like literal rings on the tooth.
Yeah, but like they're discolored, so like they'll be like yellower in the middle and shit like that. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
that's where I know about horses, but not.
So you just brought it all together for us. You just wrapped it all up in a bow.
Here we
Educational
go. It's fucking the smartest podcast on podcast.
Welcome, America and beyond.
Guys, what did we think last week? We had a guest last episode. What did we think? That was pretty fun, right?
It was so fun. It was really nice to have the balance of a feminine perspective, although we did have a difference. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I do recall she and I parted ways for a moment. But outside of that, it was nice.
We are the most balanced podcast in the Audible universe, so it's understood that some things will happen
for quite some time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it was one to hear a different perspective, but also a professional perspective. In the realm in which we talk our shit just based off our experiences, to have somebody who actually goes in and for a living tries to get people to see through what could be their own challenges and the things that we talk about, and just knowing that she listens to what we speak on and enjoys what we have a conversation with, like, makes me feel like we're doing the Lord's work here.
Yes, we are. That was probably my favorite. Yeah.
The good Jeebus Christ.
I was glad it just flowed, and you know what? Get your Jeebus in. You got it?
She was trying not to spit the water.
Hot takes.
I was more concerned that she's drinking it like this.
You saw that?
Why is your hand at the bottom of the bottle?
I don't know. Because I was trying to open it, and then I just didn't feel like moving my hand after I opened it. That's all.
Okay. This is a safe place.
It's you calling me out, though. Like, you could have just let that shit cook. You could have let it ride.
She's had practice. She's had practice on goblets, and goblets.
Hey, you heard?
I think we should do an episode next week drunk. In the middle of my day.
God, yes. I won't. I probably won't partake in drinking, but I'll have a massive edible, and I'll just be. I can't.
Okay.
I'm an older human, and your body stops accepting certain things when you get in your 30s, and alcohol. It's not a fan of.
Age. Right.
Yeah,
but
I think
we're gonna let him cook on that. All right. Okay, buddy.
I went out for the first time in a while on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I went out, and one of my boys was throwing a party at a club. Like, his girl was throwing a party, so he was supporting her, so we were supporting him. And I danced for like 7 hours. I don't even know. I danced from like
It's
10:30,
dance.
10:30 at night to fucking
Dance my ass off.
from 10:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Nah, it wasn't that. My man was
Just,
playing
just, 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 just
no
dance.
R&B. He played R&B, rap, old school R&B, reggae,
Okay.
old school reggae, Afro beats. They had three DJs that played. They had the best set I've ever heard in my life at any club.
I
Damn.
love a good DJ.
And it was so, but they were so great that I didn't know that there were three of them until and they were taking times doing sets, and then at the end of the night, I was like, that wasn't the guy that was DJing, and they switched in the middle of their sets, and it was just
Nice.
fucking fantastic. But I got home at 6, and it took me a solid 2 days to catch up on sleep.
Listen, I'm still catching up from last week. I had my art exhibit, which was why part of the reason why we didn't have a show, new episode last week, y'all. So thank you for your patience and thank y'all for your flexibility.
We missed you too.
So I did that, and then I hosted a show right after the opening exhibit. Like I was the host on the stage with the mic. So it
Hey,
was a
What's
lot
up?
of that. And then Saturday was dîner en blanc here in Atlanta, and so it was the all white bougie experience that I needed it to be, but it was a lot of planning for that. And then I worked a double Sunday, so I
Mm,
basically slept all day Monday, half of yesterday.
I feel that.
I could go take another nap right now. So I feel you. I feel you, Is.
I went to a bachelor's party weekend this weekend, a very tame one, but it was a lot of fun. But it was my first time really not drinking and being okay with it, and it was a different experience. Like I get insane heartburn, and it's just no longer worth it to take Zantac or Pepto Bismols just to find
Just have
keep up. And
alcohol.
like with my metabolism, I have to drink a lot more to try and get drunk. And like by the time I
yeah,
get there, it's never been one of my go tos. It's not my fun, and my body hates it. So edible
Mm.
though, and I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. Like it was downtown Athens, and we were going to all the
You
bars.
were in the ATH.
Yeah, it was great. I
Okay.
was there for the Kent State game. Got to stay on the bridge, watch the field. It was amazing. And
Nice.
then we went out to downtown Athens, and that is a place I have only known drunk during the nighttime on weekends. I
Right.
have never been down there sober
Mm.
uh, in my life, but I had a good time, man. I was drinking waters but I had a great edible with me, and I was still having just as much fun as I feel like I would have, and I was zero hangover the next day, unlike everybody else who was fucking
and
Mhm.
that's where
ripped.
you win,
Mhm.
And
and that
that's why I
is
was
where
like,
you win.
oh
You
yeah, I
know
feel
what's so
great.
funny? Why is the University of Georgia calling me right now? Gotta
Shut
love it.
up.
They heard their name. Sorry, that was
They
just
can start
random.
paying us back for the tuition money by
Yep.
sponsoring our show.
You feel me?
Quick question for you guys.
Yo.
Quick question. Do you check your partner's phone? Either your current partner or when you're in a relationship. Do you check your partner's phone?
What do you mean by check, first of all?
You know what he means
Like
by check.
go through somebody's phone?
Yeah,
I I think that's the more extreme
Or
example, but do you like look on their screen when they're doing it? Do you like actively like do you ever snoop around? Do
mm,
you
mm,
do you like what I'm saying, like catch a side eye while they're going through it, you know what I'm saying? Like you push your head back further on the pillow so you can kind of see what's going on in the peripheral.
see
Do
somebody
you
has
do
done
you?
this before.
I was like,
Um,
because you know all the tricks right now. Um,
I
okay,
have an
so
imagination, you doofs.
in my youth, I was a phone checker because I also was just in a relationship where there was not a lot of trust, which, in and of itself is a bad thing. What I learned though is that when you go looking, you always gonna find what you're looking for. So
Confirmation bias.
now I do not do that. Caveat, I'm just a nosy person in general. So when people pull out their phones, no matter who it is, he could be a stranger. I'm always sneaking a peek. I'm not even gonna lie.
Right.
I'm not gonna
Right.
pretend. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh no, I know." Like I will just be like, I'll give him a little, but I don't go. I don't actively, be like, "Oh, let me see what you're doing. Let me try to sneak and get your passcode." No, that just is a recipe for disaster. And so, if I feel like I need to do that, that's the clear sign for me that it's time to go. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about it now.
Yeah. I
I
feel that.
used
Yeah.
to, but
Yeah.
it might have.
Really?
Why are you saying really? I feel like everyone
Oh no,
should.
is you give like
The
I don't give a
nonchalance
fuck
don't care.
vibes.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that's me now for sure. Like
Okay.
I don't look anymore because I'm just like whatever. Like if you're cheating on me, like all right, bro, it's I'll be more disappointed than anything. So like, and that's why I think I don't care anymore because it's just like all right, if they're gonna, if once I find out, I'll just be like, oh, well that sucks. But I used to be like so concerned, maybe because I was cheating all the time.
right.
Mm.
There it
So
is.
I had to have the understanding on if you knew what were you doing, and it was like it was just me. I was cheating all the time, so maybe that was the case.
That's
But
definitely the case.
Mm.
I never found anything.
That is 100% the case.
I never found anything. I've never found anyone to be actively cheating on me ever.
Wow. Good for you.
Damn. So you were literally just doubling back, making sure they weren't doing the same thing that you were doing.
Right.
Almost, I would say, unless they tell me, almost every girl that I've ever dated was loyal to me, at least to our relationship.
Damn.
That's nice.
Mhm.
Have you grown through those trust issues?
Yeah, I went to therapy. I didn't
There it
trust.
is.
So, like the first time I went to therapy, Joe, the
We
first
love
time I
that.
went
We
to
love that
therapy,
word. We
like
love that
trying to
word.
understand um, my mistrust for women. The therapist spoke to me through my mistrust of my mother and my mistrust of like my foster mothers. And they were like, your first experience of love is supposed to come from your mom, and that's a woman. And when that doesn't happen, I just identified or just didn't trust women as a whole. So I had no trust for women. And so I just
Mm.
did what I was going to do with the idea that they were going to do what they were going to do, regardless of if
Mm.
they were good or bad. So once she said that, though, I was like, oh shit, I can see how that works because, I don't really fuck with my moms. And then all my foster mothers were terrible. So I was like, oh shit. But once I
Mm.
found out what it was and that it wasn't just me, like, I can have some control of it. Like to me, the reason why therapy is so great is because it unlocks different things in you. Now, and then you can do what you want or need to do with the information that you get out of it that you couldn't figure out yourself. Because I would never have guessed that that was my issue.
Mhm. Mhm.
Interesting.
Mm.
You already know me. I don't check. If I agree with Miss CTG. If I have to, then I'm already at that point where I don't trust you, so I don't necessarily need confirmation. I've been really active in my like mid 30s about listening to my instinct and like really really owning that because I've found so many times my instinct was right and I just overthought it. And now I'm just like, if I feel it, let's have a conversation and maybe some other stuff will come up. But I don't like snooping. I don't really like doing secret type stuff. I'm just not into it. And like I have been snooped on, and to the point where even like I sent a DM and my person, I don't know how to define what the relationship was at that point. I sent a DM and my person called me and was threatening to kick me out by the time I got back. And, it was just like, so it wasn't even snooping because like I was at a bar away. The person was home and she found the message live. It was going through, probably suspecting that's what I was going to do. So like
How?
I came later to find out that, I guess I left I didn't have I guess a password on my computer at the time or like a PIN number or anything like that. And was very trustworthy of this girl. And to be perfectly clear, we were single at the time. We were both single and not in a relationship. So
Oh.
that's why I'm hesitant. I don't know how to define it, but it was like that kind of in between phase where you're trying to figure out, is this something that we're
You
gonna,
were seeing each other.
yeah.
Did
And
he?
but
All right.
oh man, she went on my computer and was like in my Instagram, in my Twitter, in my Facebook, and just scouring nonstop and like knew. And I was just like, but I didn't know she was on my computer. I know that's how she was doing it at the time. And it rocked me. I never felt so betrayed in my life. Like, you're spying on me, and then you tell me you feel amorous feelings towards me at the same time, and those don't mix. Like, how do you love me, but you don't trust me, and you're betraying me, but yelling at me for doing something?
It's very possible to love somebody and not trust them, and it is the worst feeling in the world.
For
my
sure.
It sucks.
With
For
my
sure.
daughter's mother, definitely. She caught me though.
Yeah.
I was doing wrong, so like it was what it was. But she had no reason to check. She was one of those where like because
you say that, but clearly she had a reason. She played it off until you went to.
Let me tell you something.
Women will play the long game, and they will let you.
As much as I used to cheat, I know how good I am at hiding it. I know. I've only been like caught twice, and I've cheated on almost every girl I've ever been with in my life. I've only been caught twice.
But you may be hiding the physical evidence, but energy don't lie, baby.
That is so true.
Nah, I mean it was. I don't know because I don't believe
men suck at hiding cheating. Can we agree to that? Really men are terrible at hiding.
Hold on. Let me tell you how she caught me. Let me tell you how she caught me. We were in a one bedroom apartment, and it was a pre-war apartment, right? For y'all don't know, especially for New York.
in a shoebox, okay?
Right? No. It was a big apartment. It was a big one bedroom, like huge ceilings and everything like that. Like the light bulbs.
Oh, huge ceilings!
I love a high ceiling.
Could you crawl on the ceiling and live up there?
Yo, bro, the ceilings are so high, like, and it took so long for the landlord to come that we just bought lamps when the lights went out because it was too hard to change the light bulb.
Fucking Spider-Man up there in the corner.
So, and then the room,
his wife sticking to the wall.
And so the building is pre-war building, which means it has a bomb shelter in the bottom of it, and they don't really do construction within there. So the bedroom had one outlet because that's how old.
Oh yeah, those pre-war buildings are terrible for that.
Yeah, so they have one outlet. So we used to charge our phones and shit in the kitchen because we had the TV, and we already had one. What's the thing called? What's the thing called?
No,
a TV.
Yeah,
a TV remote.
Surge protector.
Surge protector. Yes, thank you, Miss CTG. I should have asked your ass.
A stinger.
So I used to put my iPod in and this is back when iPods could only, like, they could do Safari and shit, but you need a Wi-Fi. I used to put my iPod in the kitchen and charge it up. And one day she just came in spazzing. And she's like, oh, because I would cheat by sending it through email so that you wouldn't find it, right? It was only on my iPod. We didn't have a computer. So
it was on my iPod.
So she went searching through my iPod. And I was like, how the fuck? Like, why'd you even go through my iPod? And she's like, oh, I needed to check my email. And I was like, well, motherfucker, you went through the sent ones. There was no reason for you to go through that. Yeah, that shit was wild.
Let me tell you something, she never knew why you checked your emails on the iPod to begin with. And then one day she found the reason that she needed to check why you were checking your emails on the iPod.
This was in 2008, 2007. I didn't have a computer, or we did have a computer, and like nobody was like getting emails like that. So it was on your iPod Touch. That shit was the most convenient way to check your email.
But you just said it right there. No one was getting emails like that. So why do you need to check yours on the iPod?
That's why I'm asking her. I don't know. She fucking went in the kitchen and did it behind my back, dog. What fuck you off of me?
All right.
I did it. She went in the kitchen. That's why I was
saying that. You were offended that she went through your shit when you were doing and found that you were doing.
Let me tell you something.
That's the wildest shit to me.
That's not even.
Get caught. Their first thing is, you went through my stuff. Yes, bitch, because you are.
That's not even the worst time. That's not even the worst time that she went through my stuff.
Violate me. Okay.
The worst time she went through my stuff was October 2009.
Oh my
right?
The fact that he still remembers the month and
you know why I remember?
Scalded from these memories.
It was 2 months after it was a month after my daughter was born. That's what I remember.
Yeah, okay.
I got stabbed, right? I got stabbed. I got stabbed twice. I got into a fight with this dude.
Sorry for laughing.
Domestic violence is not a joke.
I feel really bad.
She didn't stab me. So after work, after work we used to go play football, right? So we got off of work, and then we all went to go play football, and we're at this park in Queens and we're playing, and then I noticed some dudes on the sideline. They're watching, and it's not, that's not gonna be the first thing is that they're gonna rob us. It's like we're playing 8-on-8, and I'm a small guy, but I'm a muscular guy. The rest of everybody is bigger than me, and these three dudes are watching us, and so I was like, yo, yeah, know them? They're standing pretty close to our stuff. And then they grabbed our shit and ran. And I gave chase. Caught him, got in a fight, beat the dude up, started walking away. My boy's like, yo, you good? I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm good. Look at him. He knocked out. Fucking big dog. I felt amazing, right? Because I really whooped his ass. Saw my knee. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of blood. What the fuck happened to my leg? Boy stabbed me in my leg.
What the fuck?
Wow.
So they throw me. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, I felt all the pain. Like it was the acknowledgement of it, made it real. Then I felt the pain. So, oh shit. So I fucking fell. They picked me up, put me in the back of the car, and start racing, running red lights, get him to the hospital. I get to the hospital. I can't get out the car. I'm losing so much blood. I couldn't move. They picked me up. They holding me, walking me into the hospital, running with me, blood trailing everywhere. Nurse is like, what happened? I was like, this man stabbed me. I'm also in the zone of I can't snitch. So I'm just like, yo, some dude stabbed me. Right?
I can't snitch.
Some buffoon.
Yeah, some dude just stabbed me. And then she's like, okay, we got 2 stab wounds. I was like, nah, I think he only got me once. She's like, sir, look at your arm. I look at my arm, fucking big ass hole in my arm.
God,
When she said that, I said, oh shit. the pain hit my arm now. Now I'm hurting in my leg and my arm. And then he nicked me on my inner thigh. So mind you, I'm bleeding out. Somebody goes to get my daughter's mom. Because it's like, yo, we don't know what's gonna happen. So one of my boys drives to the house. She used to work with me too, so they already knew her number. Picks her up, comes back to the hospital. I'm laying on a stretcher. I'm talking to one of my boys. I'm like, yo, I'm so like tight. All this happened. I'm like, niggas got my phone. They got my wallet. And he's like, nah, we got your phone back. And I think Mecca's here. Oh shit, I ain't mean saying that. I think Mecca's here. Let's go get. It's too late. I already said it once. It was too late. Yeah. So then he said, oh, we gave her your phone. She finna bring it to you. I said, Al, go get my phone right now. Man, she went through my phone before she even got into the hospital room.
You didn't have a lock on that thing?
I had a lock on it. Mind you, this is after she forgave me, right? So after that, I started putting a lock on. But because back in then, there was no, you had to put your passcode in for your iPhone. You didn't have like fingerprint scanner and shit like that. So it got annoying to have to keep doing it. So whenever I was at work and I wasn't with her, I would just take the passcode off and then put it back on when I got home.
Oh,
because I took it off that day and then they had stole it. I didn't get to put it back on. And then like my boys found where they dumped it at after I started fighting them. So then they gave it to, walked in the room holding the kid and just went off on me.
I forgot this whole gruesome story had to do with getting caught cheating.
Yeah.
I've totally forgot.
The fact that he still didn't stop doing the dirt,
She walked in the room. I did not. She walked in the room and started spazzing. She's like, I'm leaving, blah, blah.
She probably punched you in your stab wounds.
Nah, it caused me so much
lemon juice in that shit.
Bro, I got so much anxiety. The blood started squirting out like a movie. That shit started shooting across the room. It was like, psst. I was like, I didn't think that really happened. But when you get stressed out, the blood flows faster and it just starts spraying out everywhere. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. She's like, I'm leaving. I'm taking the kid.
Sounds
I'm out of here.
Really shitty superpower.
Yeah.
I was like, and the first question I asked her, I was like, before you came to see me, you went through my phone?
She was waiting for the perfect opportunity.
Bro,
he got stabbed? Where is he? In the hospital?
Mind you,
all right, I'll be there in 30 minutes.
She even came into the room. Like, as soon as she got to the hospital, she went through my phone immediately.
Duh.
And I was so perplexed. I was like, bro, you didn't even come to see if I was all right first. And then you went to my phone?
No, that's fair. That's like your priorities. It's like, at that point, yeah, y'all needed to be complete. Because the fact that she was more concerned with confirming her suspicions of your infidelity than your well-being, it's time for the relationship to be complete. Yeah. For sure.
I was really upset about that.
Wow. Thank God you changed.
Yeah.
Not immediately.
Eventually.
But
Thank
eventually.
God for therapy.
Shout out to
Yikes.
therapy. It was after that. No, it was another girlfriend after that. Then I went to therapy.
Mm.
Wow.
So this
Wow.
was a good starter question.
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like that's the episode. Thanks, guys. This was great.
It was a quick question, and that one carried us 15 minutes.
Yeah,
That's a
gotta do
topic.
what I do.
That's a subtopic. Subreddit.
Yeah,
Who wants to
now
go first?
I'll go. I always like going
Um,
first. You know me.
Selfish. Go ahead, Israel.
Selfish. Love
Pleasure
it.
yourself.
So my question is simply this for our listeners and for you two beautiful beings. How much
mhm.
does your parents' approval matter in your dating life? I mean,
Oof.
granted, I think it's a little different now because we're older. So I don't know if anyone's approval really matters all that much. But does your parents' approval matter when you're dating? Or deciding to marry, become fiance, become engaged, and have a fiance? Does your parents matter in what they think of your significant other?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Miss CTG, do you mind if I
Take it.
thank
Take
you?
it away, buddy.
My dad, no. Mr. 3 wives, 7 kids. No, I was never consulted for the second or third marriage about who he was marrying. You definitely don't get consultation about who I'm dating.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, also, listeners, I've pretty much dated outside of my race since your boy could get it up. And so that's a huge thing only because it's the South. I come from a family of heavily Republican, kind of conservative people, whom I love, by the way.
Racist.
Conservative Republican, not that other R word. Conservative Republican. I will say my mom matters to an extent. Because at the end of the day, my mom's side of the family, we are close as a unit. Like we spend Christmas together. We rent out a house in Myrtle Beach nowadays. It used to be we all gathered at my grandma's place or like switched houses, but like that much as a unit. And part of that is like every year, 2 days before Christmas on the 23rd, we celebrate Buzzin' Cousins, where all the cousins just get ripped and go out together. And now that's
Oh,
like
you're
been
gonna miss
extended.
that this year, huh? I'm sorry. Sorry,
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
I'll be there. I'll just be high
A
and
different
by.
kind of buzzed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll
Okay.
be flying above. But what I love about our family is I feel like even though we weren't like the top priority, the people who were being married to and added on to our family got along with everybody. So I don't think it's so much of an approval that's necessary, but I had it in my mind that I wanted my partner to be somebody that can fit in with that dynamic and add on. Not that I need approval or like this person's good for you. They will challenge this. No, the bottom measurement is do I love this person? Do they make me happy? And are they good for me? Yes. And I'm the only one who has to answer that question. It's a bonus though that I consider like my sister's opinion because they do matter to me and they've been there for me after all the previous relationships have failed and they've been there with me through my whole life and I don't want to add stress. And then I also to know what it's like when you marry someone or you're like when you got that family member who's got the boyfriend or the girlfriend that's just a piece of shit and just does not make anything fun and is a total like soul suck.
Mhm.
I don't like those. I don't like those. So no, I don't need their approval, but I do like it if they get along because it's ideal. It's ideal.
Okay. Okay.
Miss CTG.
Well, my mom is dead, so that
Okay.
part,
We could have said that. Jesus Christ. Jeebus.
I don't know
Hey,
why I like to do that. Sometimes people
So
ask stuff and they'll be like, "Oh,
I
well,
do
she's
it
dead."
too. And it
It's
doesn't and I don't know
because you're
why.
numb to the pain and you
Yeah, I
love
do it
to
too.
startle people with
absolutely
it.
false. I'm definitely not numb to it at all, but it's just one of those things
I
that
get
I
it.
feel like
I do it
can't
too.
be, it's you can't people are so weird around death in the first place. That
I don't
I
get
don't know.
that.
Sometimes it's just funny. It's
Yeah.
it's funny.
No,
Anyways,
I
but
get it. I get it.
when she was alive, her opinion mattered to the extent that like you're my mom. I love you. I respect you. Did it change my actions or my dating? No. It gave me more to think about, like, cause she was never like, "I forbid you," or anything like that, but, um, she definitely there was one, oh, the ex whose phone I went through, and she was just like, "What are you doing with this joker?" And I was like, "It's just" so, she wasn't wrong, she wasn't incorrect. My dad, I was going to introduce that guy to my dad, and then I never did because I felt like I couldn't stand on the relationship, and I didn't even
Mm.
wanna bring that to my dad, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's like, if I the next man that I introduce to my dad is going to be like my husband because it's just there's a level of respect that I have for him that, like, I'm not gonna bring him no fool lolly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna like, he not even it's he's not even gonna know a name until there's something serious. And it's not out
Mm.
of like, "Oh, my dad would disown me." Like, it's none of that. It's really just like a respect thing for him. Like, you gon' you only need to meet the husband. That's it. You don't
Uh,
even waste your time with anybody else. That's kind of how it is. And so I guess his approval does matter in that sense, but also he's only gonna get the chance to approve one time. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah,
that's where I'm at.
I my parents have never been involved in any of my dating. My father wouldn't have been involved anyway. My father's dead too. Uh, so he probably
He's
involved now as a ghost.
dead.
Yeah, as he's
Yo,
ghost.
ghost dad.
He's ghosting.
Ghost.
Not Bill Cosby.
He's watching from afar. Which is perverted. Pops, chill out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my dad, um, I don't think he ever cared about relationship stuff for any of us. Just like was like, yo, take care of yourself. No matter what, take care of you. If you gotta deal with a girl, make sure you getting that money from her so you can take care of
Yeah,
you.
I forgot your dad
Yeah.
was a pimp. I
Yes.
So
forgot.
so he wasn't ever gonna say anything. Like I introduced him to like two girls, and he was just like, "You like her? All right. Well, what you getting from her?" My mother, my mother and I, we
Never gets
haven't.
old. I've never gotten used to that. What you getting from?
My mother, I don't think my mother's ever been involved in a relationship past me being a teenager.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
and even then, I was like 14, and she fucking snitched on me. I
Your
was
mom?
lying. Yeah, I was lying to this girl to date her. She was a year older than me. And I was like, yo, I'm about to turn 15. And she was already 15. And she walked in my house on my birthday. And my mother was making a cake. And I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm about to be 15. My mother looked her dead in the face and said, that boy lying to you. He 14. I said, you
Wow.
fucking
Catholic.
asshole. She broke up with me right then and there.
Because you was
Wow.
goofy for that. You were goofy.
So, yeah,
Why would you even bring her on your birthday? You goofy for that.
it's not like I brought her. We lived in the same building. She lived on the fifth
Oh.
floor. I lived on the fourth
Oh,
floor. She
okay.
came to my house. But it was just like, bro, what's up with you, dog? From that point forward, I was like, I can't fuck with you no more. And I mean, I don't speak to her at all. I
Damn.
haven't spoken to her in years. So yeah, for me, it doesn't matter. I also don't care about what someone else's parents thinks of me. So like,
Hmm.
I don't have the need to ask your pops for your permission. Like, I don't care if he gives me permission. Fuck, he gonna do if I actually marry you? Like, that's
Right.
how my mind works. I know it's
Mhm.
traditional and like people enjoy to do it and they think it's a respect thing, but I also think that um, you already had your life, homie. This is her life. This is her decision to make.
Right.
Your opinion and this doesn't matter. I feel that way about me. I have a daughter, and I believe I feel that way. I would ask my daughter, "Are you happy?" Then you do what you want to do and what you need to do. That does not involve me anymore but I feel that way about other people. Yeah. Don't do like. Can I also add that that's probably why I've always been afraid to date outside of my race, because I've always looked at it like I'm not, when I say I'm outside my race, even for like Spanish folks, I've never dated a Spanish girl in my life, none of that. But like
Are
for
you Spanish or you just speak
I'm
Spanish?
I'm classic black.
Okay, because the way you
Generation
said
one.
even for Spanish, as if that
Because
was
Spanish
also a
people,
part of you.
No,
because some Spanish people identify as black and others don't. So you gotta,
Oh, like the Dominicans,
yeah.
the
yeah.
Dominicana.
But
Which
like
Okay.
Israel
for
is
white,
loose leaf Dominican. Like we found out,
I'm
he's
not.
he's
Loose
lightweight.
leaf
He's lightweight Dominican.
Dominican.
If anything, I'd be
He was
Puerto
in the
Rican by
circle of
proxy.
honor. Right, right.
But like with white women, like no white woman's ever approached me for dating anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But like
What are those?
in the back of my head, I would be
Just
like, oh,
kidding.
she's cool, and obviously she likes black dudes. But like, what the fuck about her family? I got to deal with that, and I wouldn't want to. And if your pops disrespect me, I honestly would tell you I will fuck him up right then and there. I don't give a shit if he your father. I'll beat his ass. He ever step out of line. Your
Hmm.
brothers too. Go get them. Everybody can get their ass whooped. But that's my thought process.
Interesting. All right. Oh,
Israel is
that took a
particularly
turn,
violent today.
and,
Yeah,
and we lost video.
I only lost video.
He was like, "Fuck y'all, fuck
Fuck this
y'all,
whole
fuck
podcast.
y'all." Fuck
I'm out of here. One sec.
Oh my
I
goodness.
don't
I
even
mean,
like. I don't bring anybody home though. I'll say that. Like friends, sure, I'll introduce people like I'm dating maybe to my friends, but like
mhm,
I don't bring. We have to be in a relationship, and I have to like, and I don't even get in a relationship unless I see something long term there. That's the only way you're
mhm,
going to be brought home, and we have to have been together for like a
exactly.
few months before you make it to that round.
Mhm. Yeah, that's fair.
What about you?
Yeah, I haven't brought anybody home in a
In a
long
while.
time.
Wow. What's going on there?
And well, um, just like I said, it's gotta be it's gotta be something that makes sense. That's really like, yeah, you're gonna be here,
Right.
and I'm gonna do this with you, and yeah, that hasn't been. That might be my shit. It could just be me. It might be me feeling like, yeah, no, I'm not ready. I think that might be part of it. But also
Interesting.
just, nobody's quite hit that mark yet. That's like, I'm confident
Right.
that that I'm gonna keep you around. I was like, that's honestly, I have to say, I'm gonna keep you around. I've met other people. I've met their families and they love me, but it just don't go vice versa. Cause yeah. So that's that.
Well, Atlanta is a hell of a dating scene. Ever like I know it's impossible to find a relationship in New York because like it's a candy store for everybody. You can have whatever you want on both sides.
You can
Atlanta
have whatever you like.
Atlanta is different. I feel bad for women in Atlanta because it just seems like a nightmare dating scenario here. Just because,
I think it's what you give. Like, it's so weird because people ask me, I was like, how do you like dating in Atlanta? I'm like, it's fine. Like, I don't feel like I attract anybody who has been horrible. It's more about like compatibility and longevity. You know what I'm saying? But like, I haven't attracted this nightmare situation. Yes, in my 20s, but in your 20s, you make
Can I can I
less
add something that
intelligent
may seem
decisions.
taboo?
Sure.
Well, it's not even taboo. Do you think that the dating scene in Atlanta is a little bit more difficult for women because of the population, right? Just the ratio of straight men to actual women for heterosexual relationships, right? Because there's so many like homosexual relationships that now you're left with like the bottom of the barrel dudes.
right? I don't know about
No, that's such a weird thing. Like,
You don't think
I
so?
mean, I know it's like a stereotype, but I don't think you're left with bottom of the barrel men. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? Because there's also an equally large number of homosexual women in Atlanta. And so
Oh,
to me, it feels like it balances out, and it's
Decatur.
just the okay. So random. To me, it feels like it balances out, and I also just feel like I don't live in a scarcity mindset. So I'm
Amen.
never like, even no matter how you try to describe it, like, sure, I understand the numbers, but I also feel like when you're energetically in the space that you're ready to have to attract the thing that you want and to be the thing that you are looking for as well, you'll find it. So I'm not
oh,
really worried, like I'm getting to that space now where I'm like, okay, I do think, it's husband time. And so I'm shifting myself energetically. And I don't have any doubts that when I'm ready, he will appear, or it might already be somebody who is around and they'll just tighten up. I don't know. I don't know.
If I
You
was
know.
single in Atlanta, I would clean up down here. Let me tell you that. I would destroy the city and leave nothing behind.
But
Because
why?
because
To what end? To what end?
because I feel like I'm in a very small percentage of, if I was actually single,
Mhm.
actually straight man.
Yeah,
Because
but if you're also actually about some shit, you're still gonna have the same experience because there's a lot of ain't shit women in Atlanta also. So you would clean
yes,
up, but what are you cleaning up? Goofies?
yeah,
Or are you cleaning up
vaginas.
with
vaginas.
I would be scrubbing vaginas from the
then
See,
you ain't
inside
about shit.
here
So then
with
you're
my
part of the
you
about
go
shit
again, Miss
toothbrush.
category.
CTG, with your emotional. Listen,
Yeah.
we out here for the cheeks only, homie.
Yeah, did you assume when I said I would clean Atlanta out that relationship wise, like I
No,
would
you
just be
want
a
them pools.
serial
I
Yeah,
mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So
yeah.
basically you said you be a hoe. You be out here
I
being a
would
hoe
be,
and
but I would
that's
also know that the
that's
numbers were in my
but
favor
is
in that
that
regard.
winning though? Like, but who gives a
Hell
fuck,
yeah.
Yes, it
yo?
is. Without a doubt,
Yes.
it is
Oh,
absolutely winning.
You ever fuck two chicks in one day differently?
no.
Or
Oh my God.
it's amazing.
Oh,
You
God bless.
go home feeling like a champ.
Yeah.
You're in the shower, like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like you just won game
But
7.
do
Just
either of those okay. That can I can see that. Do the chicks give a fuck about you? Or are you just like
why would
a
I
dick
care?
that they use to get a nut?
Care. I have never
Mm.
cared if a girl liked me. That
I feel
never.
so bad for y'all.
Why? I still
Just
experience
feels like you're
love.
just missing
But
out
no,
on
I
a
no.
fundamental piece of the experience of,
I
like,
disagree with Israel on
been
this.
conditioned to think that that's, like, winning.
I weaponized the nut. I made it my sole focus that I was going to make you have such a good time. It was going to make it impossible for you to forget me or want to be with someone else. And then when I have the luxury of not wanting to be with you, I had all the cards. But the nut was always going to be there. Yes, that's called weaponizing the nut. For those of you
I'm
that were
winning.
listening,
I would be
I made
winning,
them
and I'm
come
okay
so
with it.
good and so regularly. C'est la vie.
Toxicity
Mhm.
for me.
We are the Toxic Podcast for a better tomorrow. That's why I
Toxicity for
am
me.
engaged to be married to one woman for the rest of my life.
Oh,
You
golly.
know, going back to the actual question though for a second, because somebody brought it up. I forget. I will say this.
Insane.
I did ask for the blessing before I got engaged, and it was not my fiance's first choice. She was of the mindset like she didn't need certain people's permission, nor as a woman did she feel like she wanted to feel like she's somebody's property for them to give away in that sense. And it was a little like a small source of tension between us. But my explanation was like, listen, as a man, I was doing this for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm very big on setting the tone, and I'm really big on respect. And it's even if to say I'm not looking for their permission, I'm just letting them know, hey, I'm the one who's going to be in her life now. I'm the one who's going to be taking care of her. And like, I want us to be on communication terms. And I want you to know that I'm a person, I'm here, and that I'm worthy of taking care of her, whether you approve of me or not, just man to man, I'm coming to you. And then, I,
I
I
can
asked,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I mean, like I asked her father, but I asked I asked her father out of just tradition, and I guess in my own selfish way. I'll admit it was probably selfish, but like I don't I don't want to have any questions about that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to invite any kind of energy like that into a relationship. Like everybody's on the same accord, and you know who I am, you know what I represent, and you know my values when I'm doing that. I asked her father just because I guess selfishly it had always been a lifelong dream of mine when I got engaged that was a conversation I was going to have, you know, and I've seen my now brother-in-laws do the same thing with my dad. It was
How
more
did he
important.
receive it?
He received it well. I was not worried about her father at all, but that was like because he wasn't the blessing I needed or wanted. If anything, it was like the men in her life that she was really close to, and those were the ones that made me nervous. You know what I mean? Because like I know how much they care about her, and that's the one that mattered. Not to say that her dad doesn't, right? But it's like it's a I don't want to give too much of her business, but it was important to me. So there's that.
Hmm.
When
I
they
can
when they
see where
told
she's coming from, though. I'm
Mm-hmm,
when they
sorry.
absolutely.
told you
I feel bad.
yes, or when they gave their blessing, how did you feel?
Relieved. Um, I don't feel like it was like I unlocked anything. You know what I mean? But again, it was like I'm just setting the tone. That's my whole thing is like setting the tone. You know what I mean? Like I have always wanted to be a husband and I've always wanted to be a father. And I think that's probably why I've taken so long to get to this step because I didn't know everything about myself. I didn't know everything about what I was going to be in that role, but I wanted to make sure I had as much complete and figured out by the time I got there. And so when I got the approval from the people that she was closest to, I think that's when reality kind of set in. It was just like, oh crap, now I actually have to get on a knee and then see if she's gonna want to.
Mm.
But
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, like I am traditional, not conservative, but I have traditions that I like,
I like that for you.
traditional. But I see where
Woo!
she was coming
That's
from, and like I never meant to disrespect her in that way. You know what I mean? I think in my mind it
It's
was
just
something
such
that
an
I had
old
to do.
school concept in
Yeah,
the giving away of it, but I do think that there is merit in the you declaring your intentions to her support system. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And so, from that level, less of like, oh, do I have your permission to marry your daughter? I don't think I'd want somebody to ask my dad that, but I would want somebody to go to him and be like, hey, this is how I feel about her. This is the life that I want to create with her. And I just want to share that with you so that we can all be in alignment. Cool. That
yeah,
would feel good to me.
yeah,
Yeah, that would feel great. I think he'd respect it. When I was a kid, my dad would be like, so if you trying to do something, like we'd have to make presentations to state our intentions and our plans and all that shit. So I think he would really appreciate somebody come with that PowerPoint on why they love me so much.
You'll notice that this first slide,
On this first
you
slide,
can
here's my
see
5-year plan.
Matter of fact,
during the first
that
kiss,
is gonna be a requirement. I'm gonna
I've had a CG animation rendition of our first date. You can see here.
And then when they fumble, it's not accurate. The WebEx isn't
let me
opening
start over.
up.
Let me start over. Let me start over.
The camera cuts here because I went back and fucked her on the first date, but we told you it wasn't until
Yikes.
2 months in.
So you just gonna have me out here just being a loosey goosey in these streets?
You would
You
never.
my
You
husband.
would never. I, on the other hand, me and Pete.
Okay, all right. Can we
Yes.
All right,
Miss
we're switching
CTG,
gears.
you're up.
We're talking about relationships still. But my question, and I'm gonna pull this up because I wanna ask it the correct way that I wrote it. Um, who has it worse during the breakup, men or women? And the reference point for this question, I had seen something on the internet, of course, but it was just like a little small thing, and it
Women.
was something like what men want
Men,
women to know
Women.
men,
about
men.
stuff.
Women.
Man,
Their little emotion gland
Shoot,
just runs wild.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Where is it?
emotion gland is nuts.
Um,
Oh shit.
where
I
is
fucking
it? Where is it? There was this thing, and it was
Wow.
damn.
It's the lack of preparation for me.
No, because I was prepared and I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna drop the link because because it was too many things coming up." But now it looks like the whole post has just fucking disappeared. I should have dropped the link. Golly.
or
And it was
screenshot
this
it.
whole thing, and it was like, yeah. Did I screenshot it? I thought about it. Essentially, the thing said that men have it worse in um when there's a breakup because they don't have emotional support systems um to actually get through uh the relationship or so. Oh, here it is. Hold on, here it is. It's hard to get over you after a breakup. We don't really have emotional support systems in place to rely on, and a lot of men have small social circles, so losing someone means a lot to us. And there was something else I'd seen somewhere else, something saying something similar, like men feel more deeply, blah, blah, blah. So I just figured I'd bring it to the space and ask you fellas. Um,
He, in speaking for men, said we have small social circles and we don't have support systems.
don't really have emotional support systems
Mm.
in place to rely on, which is why it's hard to get over a woman after a breakup. And because
Hmm.
their social circles are small, losing someone in their circle means a lot.
The percentage of how many people you've lost is significantly greater.
So what say you?
I'm going to say women, and I'm going to be highly toxic in this answer. But as
Hit it.
Israel just heard, y'all's little emotional gland just runs wild, just pumping out every emotion known to the human body. Just, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm still in love. Oh, I can make it work. Oh, I hate him. I never want to see him again. To, oh, I need him back in my life. What am I doing? What are we doing? What's he doing right now? While men, I feel like are just like, oh man, that fucking sucks. Well, I'm gonna go plow these streets and then I'll figure it out next time.
I mean, you're
That's
not
my
It's
wrong.
answer.
true.
You're not wrong.
Next question.
I will
Next
tell you though,
question.
I think that men do have it worse. And I think that the person whoever wrote whatever that was, I think they hit it on the head because we don't often have that place to go to when our heart is broken. Because we're
Mm,
often told that what we should just do is go fuck somebody else to get over it. But
mhm.
we never really allow ourselves to get over it. My going into therapy was because of such a tremendous heartbreak. Like I was like, oh, I really fucked up this time,
Mm.
Mhm.
and it was that allowing myself to go through those emotions, mind you, with a therapist, that allowed me to see
Oh,
my
said T
wrongs.
word. We appreciate the T
There we
words.
go. That allowed me to see my wrongs. But when I tell you, ooh, I mean, I ugly cried, and she probably cried too, even though I'm the one that did wrong because of the betrayal. She probably cried on that. But man, just going through life with just going, oh, you don't feel nothing, just keep it moving was nuts. It's fucking insane.
Miss CTG, what happened? You just caught a chill during
Yeah.
Israel's
You
testimony?
never Yeah, but yes, I did just get a quick chill. Maybe my mom
Wow.
is here, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't
Hey,
know.
thanks for coming to the show.
It's my
Thank
dad.
Oh, they would totally have a great time
I
wherever they are.
don't think so. I don't think so.
We just pull up like,
Never
hey there,
been
little
Yeah.
sugar mama, how you doing? Boo.
if
Hey,
she
Angel.
was a kid.
I'll
Interesting.
I'll say this in my own experiences, it takes me a very long time to get over relationships. I would say unhealthily a long amount of time. Like I've held on to relationships for. I used to have a theory that it was like it takes 20% of the total time that you guys were together to get over a relationship. I found that was not true. It was almost like 100% matched. Like if we were together for 3 years, it almost took me 3 years to get over it. Um, I don't know if that would be the case anymore because of therapy. I feel like I've actually been able to solve some of those questions. But I mean, like, yeah, against my previous answer, it really effed me up because, like, I don't get in relationships that often because I wanted to be so sure when I get in a relationship that just in case we see ourselves getting married, I can see that with this person. Like, I'm always that intentional before I ask you to be in a monogamous relationship with me, a committed relationship rather, that I can see that I don't need to have the ring bought or like the date or anything, but just like, hey, can I kind of see it? Yeah, all right. And so I think that's why, because I mean, like when I fall, I'm 100% all in. I'm 100% in. I'm a romantic. Like I like to go big with gestures, like not necessarily expensive, but like I will intimately get to know you and reward you in that sense. And then when I feel like I failed at doing that, it fucks me up from a personal perspective. So maybe is right, but I'm gonna keep my first answer what it is.
Fuck is a maybe. I am right. Come on, man. He felt it.
The
Say
toxic
that.
version of B Todd is like, fuck
You
that
felt it.
shit.
Nah,
Had to
you
bring some
felt it. You felt that
toxicity.
heartbreak, and then you just have nowhere to put it.
Yeah,
There was nowhere to put it. And so what we do is we put our dick in things. But that's not healing. That's
that's
fucking.
not healing. Yeah, that's distraction.
That's
Mhm.
distraction.
Distraction.
It's a
Mhm.
band-aid over the gunshot wound in our heart.
Mhm.
Or, in your case, stab
Oh,
wounds, multiple stab wounds.
Multiple.
you took the fucking words out my mouth, B Todd.
Yep. And ran right through my phone with them.
Stole my heart and ran through my phone.
Stole my heart and ran through my phone.
Slashed me up.
Man. I mean, I will say I do think that to your original toxic point about women feeling all the emotions, if feeling your feelings is considered having it hard through a breakup, then sure, women, we're going to have all those feelings. But I also think that depending on how the relationship ends and why it ends, I do think that once women have made the decision that we're complete, it is a lot easier for us to release the attachment to the relationship than it is for men.
Mm,
If especially if we're the ones who are ending it. Um yeah, and that's just from my own experience of you know, relationships being complete. Maybe
mm,
maybe that's just me. Like I'll feel the feelings, I'll be sad, but I also can get to that space. And I think, cuz I also feel like if you love somebody, that never goes away. Like love doesn't die in that sense. It just maybe gets a little smaller and it's not as strong and it's not as like pulling and all of that. But like I still care about everybody that I've been in a relationship with. But I also can get to that space where it's like I can care about you and not want to be in a relationship with you
right.
or be like connected to you or want
That's a
to
huge
speak to you even,
that's a
and
huge
that's
realization too, because those lines can be
yeah.
blurred.
Yeah, because it's like you can be comfortable with somebody, you can really love them and care about them and enjoy them and like them, but it doesn't mean that the relationship is what you need and what serves you.
Yeah.
And so it's like I feel like when you can get to that space of understanding, okay, um, this particular dynamic did not work out or is not serving me, it doesn't change who they are. And it also is not a reflection on me being this type of person or that type or less than or whatever. When you can get to that space, then that's a really beautiful place to be in. And so I just, I don't know. I think men aren't allowed to be as introspective. And so it's harder for them to get there with their feelings.
I'll agree. I I've always had a support system, an emotional support system, so that was where I was just like didn't agree with that guy. But
Hmm.
I also realize I'm probably in a lot smaller camp because I mean I guess I did have some sort of foundation of therapy and cognitive, emotional, behavioral kind of therapy growing up when as a child of divorce. So we went to group therapy at a church as a program called Rainbows, and that program was really, really successful for me, and I loved it. And I was like pimped out as their little like spokes kid for a while. I would go give speeches at fundraisers to help get them more money because of my.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I've been
My
performing
name
my
is
whole life. You have no idea, in all these different pockets.
The rainbow. I am a rainbow.
But I mean, I guess because of that early foundation. Oh my god, fucking assholes. Pieces of shit. I can't believe I started a podcast with these motherfuckers. I really regret my decisions in life right now.
You know that was perfect. You know it was perfect.
I'm a rainbow.
I'm a rainbow. You gotta do the hands.
Rainbow.
A rainbow.
Wish I had a sound effect for that. Are either one of y'all serial daters? I don't think you are, but just to be, do you consider yourself serial daters? Like
Not
hop out of one
no.
relationship?
Definition.
No.
Please.
Serial fucker.
How would you define?
Serial. You get out of one relationship and you're in the next one within like, we'll just say a very short amount of time.
No.
Shorter than. Do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about serial daters, though? Do you know people who are just like bounce from relationship to relationship?
Yeah, they can't be by themselves.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I need my space. I need to decompress. All of that. I mean, have I had bouts of, a little overlappage? Sure. But in general practice, no.
Yeah. I mean, I can only speak on the outside because none of us are, but like I feel like when someone serial dates like that, you have no time to process and close off the previous relationship before opening yourself up into the next one. And in my mind, theoretically, you are just in one long relationship, essentially kind of with yourself. Like, and it's a bad one because I agree with you. I think serial daters hate the thought of being alone so much that they are willing to fall in love with whoever. Not to make them
What's
like
crazy, I don't even think they fall in love. They just allow themselves to get attached. They just get attached. Yeah. That's my thought.
Woo. Good episode today.
What you got, B-Todd? What you got for us?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. I want to know, do long distance relationships really work? What are your thoughts? Like,
what is the definition of work?
Can they be successful? Can they? Yeah.
What?
Does
I'm
it
just saying
fail?
because I feel like does work mean that they end up in marriage, or does it mean that the two of
I'll give it
you
this context.
grew together and had a beautiful situation?
Can both people truly be happy in a long distance relationship? The full happiness that a relationship can provide, can it exist? Can it work in long distance scenarios? Does it?
Personally, my inclination is to lean towards no, because I think part of the point of a romantic relationship, is that you desire to actually share your life with somebody, and it's hard to share your life with somebody that you only see on intervals of time, whether that's every couple of weeks to every couple of months, to people who do it every 6 months to a year. Like, you're not we can talk about it and we can have all the conversations and I can fill you in, but it's a lot different. Um it's a lot different experience telling you about it versus like you actually doing it with me, or you being there to have, what I'm saying, like being physically in the space to like share a space together, and argue in the same space and figure out how we work back together, like all of that. I just think it's a little bit different. So um I think it can have moments where it does serve, for sure, because relationships, they have purposes and in all different functions and forms. But as a romantic, I want to share my life with you situation, is, for me, it's a no.
Okay.
I've never been in a long distance relationship or even like close to one. Like the closest has been like, oh, you live in the same borough but not in the same neighborhood. So I wouldn't know. I mean,
You've only ever dated girls in the Bronx? Is that what you're saying?
no, but like in Queens, but you're like you're
Harlem
in
to Brooklyn is a long distance
yeah,
relationship.
like in New York, in New York, a different.
I feel like it was a
Hold on,
valid
Hour
question.
commute.
I
I
Yeah.
feel
got
like it was
another,
a
I
valid
got another
question,
story. I definitely broke up with this girl and
Oh my
told her I
god.
don't do long distance relationships because I moved from the Bronx to Queens, and she was still in the Bronx. I was like, yeah, I don't think it can work. I got school. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Long distance
And I broke up.
relationships.
With, I
Y'all
broke up
have the
with her. I was like,
same
yes,
mayor.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was mayor. It was a
You,
mayor of getting out of there. But I broke up with her.
you
I
use the
definitely broke up with
same
her over that.
train.
But I've never been in one. I wouldn't want to be in one though, because I need sex and a certain level of physicality. Um, and if I don't want to put myself in a position where I go outside of the relationship to go get it because it's not possible. There's only so much
anymore.
jerking off you can do.
Mhm.
Like,
Amen.
don't get
Mhm.
me wrong. Like,
Mhm.
it'll save you a lot of heartache to just beat your meat. But like, if I'm seeing you like 2 times every 4 or 5 months, like, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like there's also certain things that happen, right? There's gonna be arguments in every relationship, and especially in ones that don't involve you all being around each other a lot, there's still gonna be arguments. And it's much harder to get past that argument.
Oh, little Israel.
It's much harder to get past that argument or to at least resolve an issue when you're not together. To like
Mhm.
for me to look you in your face to understand. Sometimes it's the small things that hurt, but I wouldn't realize that until I see that hurt on you. And sure,
Yeah.
FaceTime helps out, but
But
like
it's
in
still
person,
not.
when you're hearing somebody tell you, like, yo, this really bothers me, and you can feel
Yeah.
that pain in them, it does something. Whereas over the phone, I'd be like, bruh, first of all, if I'm over the phone, I got my AirPods in and I'm definitely playing a game on my phone.
Hundred
like,
percent. 100%.
so that loses it. And for those reasons, I'd probably be like, I wouldn't even want to put you through that. Like, I would not want to put you through that. I wouldn't even, as unemotional as I am, I would not want to go through that emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything can exist in theory and with the right circumstances, but for me, it's a no. Like,
Mhm.
in the context of can both people truly be happy? I don't believe so. I think there's a lot of sacrifice that has to go into maintaining a long distance relationship. And I think there's like cases where they have to be done. And that much I understand. That is just life. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it can be a 2 to 3 year scenario. And in that case, if we can make it through those 2 to 3 years, cool. But that's not the majority of our relationship being long distance. For me, I need touch, man. I'm a very physical expresser of my love, and like that is physical touch is definitely one of my love languages. And fuck, I hate talking on the phone, man. God damn. Like, have you ever been in an argument in a long distance relationship and you just want to, like, you have no idea what to do with that phone when you're so mad. Like, forget if you could flip it close, fine. But there are times where you just want to
Not flip
destroy
it
your
close.
phone. Just, pat. I, I can't do it, man. I mean, I've been so long distance to where we were both in different countries for a while, and that
Yikes.
was brutal. Like if you have any sort of trust issues, they are magnified. If you have any communication issues, they are magnified. And it's
Mhm.
just like I agree. I agree that relationships are meant for people to enjoy and experience life together, and I think that, you know, for me anyways, I need to be close to you. Can I like see you every 2 weeks? Sure. But like if it's to that point where it's like we are like on a quarterly schedule or some shit, like I'll see you once a month or
Yeah.
that's hard, man. That's hard because I'm building stronger relationships with the people I'm actually hanging out with, and it's easier to relate my day to and my whole life experience with them. But yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about, like, if you can develop a connection with somebody where you are like, you can communicate well with them, like, I've tried the long distance thing, and the communication piece when you're on the same page and you enjoy actually, like, talking and sharing and hearing from that other person, that can be it does feel really beautiful. But the downside is when it's like you also those moments when you are together aren't real life because you have to make them special. You don't want to go and actually hash out an issue because you're like, well, I'm only here for 3 days. So I'm gonna just enjoy it and I'm gonna pretend that nothing is
Oh
wrong or I'm gonna
man,
just do
that's
this. You know what
huge.
I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
can't it's not
Oh, I hate
real
that.
life in a
Right.
relationship because then it's always like, you really want to
That's
just spend the
wild.
time we have together arguing? Yes,
Right.
I do. Yes, I do, because I can't have this conversation with you over the phone.
Or the
But also,
alternative is that
no,
you
I
do
don't.
end up getting together and, like, the whole time together.
It
It's that
sucks.
first day you get into a fight and all of your
That's
fights come out in
oh,
that one,
And
and it's just like,
exactly.
bruh. Could
"Fuck, I
you
wish I
imagine
hit that
having a
Exactly.
plane ticket
weekend? You have a
back."
weekend out of every
Yeah.
3 months. You get one weekend, and you argue on the first day. Oh my
And then you
fucking
can't wait
god!
to go back to your side of the country or the state or the region, whatever. Like, it
Mhm.
almost enforces, "I cannot
Just
wait to get
and
my
then
space back."
just to get back over there and go, I really miss this person again.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
so
sorry,
there's
baby.
it's just not like it's not real. I mean, it is
Yeah.
real, but it also isn't real life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so it's like you can be an amazing person, um, the most handsomest, the most kindest, all of that, but it's like,
But if you can't
boo,
experience it.
if you can't pop up on me on a Tuesday night, like, I don't know. It
Right.
ain't, I don't know. I don't know. It's not gonna be for me anymore.
Yeah.
Tried it,
Yeah.
been there, done that, bought the
I wanna say
T-shirt.
to anybody who's listening that if you are in a long distance relationship and that all 3 of us poo-pooed on it, I do respect and support your communication and preference of love. I really do, because I know there's somebody who's listening right now who's in a long distance relationship, and it's probably hard, and I get that, and if you're making it
Yeah,
work, God bless you, we salute you.
yeah.
We are just saying we know it's a lot harder than ones that are proximal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, not trying to downplay, but like I said, I've tried it. Tried it, gave it the good
For sure.
try,
For sure.
loved him, all of that, but it's like it just when push came to shove, your initial question, like, are both people really, really happy? The
Right.
answer was no,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So
Amazing.
yeah, that's that.
Are
That's
we
it.
complete?
This feels good. This felt like a good little chitty chat today.
We really, really did a great job today. Everybody's excited. Listen, the crowd's going
Peace
wild.
and love, heartbreak, everyone.
Wow.
Peace,
No,
love,
please, please.
Oprah.
Black Oprah. Black Oprah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the show. Oh, you know what? No, not that one. Let's get the traditional one. What am I even thinking?
What was
Don't forget to look for us. Instagram at Mansers Pod. Email us, the Mansers Pod. Toxic Podcast for the better tomorrow. And we will see you next week. Answers. Answers. See you next week.